We spent 100 days as Champion Ash Ketchum in our own Pokemon fan game, with the ultimate goal being to defeat 30 trainers and the Masters 8, of course. If we lose 10 times, then the game resets. We also have side missions, and every 5 victories, we get a brand new Ash team to use, as well as a secret right at the end, so keep watching. We start things off by talking to Professor Oak, who's calling us and telling us the same rules about having to do 30 battles, and if we lose 10 times, then we lose our champion title, of course, which we are not going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, then we start the game, and look at our sprite. It looks amazing. And of course, our lovely team is going to be the Journeys one. Wow, this is fantastic, dude. Look at this shit, bro. We got Pikachu, Lucario, Gengar, Sirfetch'd, Dracovish, and Dragonite, the team that Ash uses, of course, in Pokemon Journeys. Before taking on our first battle, we decide to go to our city here, Hearthome in this case, to just look around and see if there are any missions we can do. We end up running into this one random character who seems a little bit pissed at us and actually wants to battle us. Oh shit, it's a battle! I didn't even realize. You're challenged by trainer Raven. Ooh, she's got a Lucario. Interesting, interesting. We then defeat the Lucario very quickly, just using a Shadow Ball with our Gengar, which does take a bit of damage, but there we go. Our first battle is won, and this person didn't like us whatsoever, so we move on. We then enter Amity Square, where we're actually able to run around with all our Pokemon to level them up, even if they're not cute Pokemon, so to say. And we run around a little bit with our Lucario, just getting it some extra levels, as well as also walking around with Sirfetch'd, which was really awesome seeing it in the overworld sprite. We then return to the league and prepare ourselves for our first battle. And guess who is going to be, ladies and gentlemen? If not our good old friend Brock. Now, Brock kicks off the battle by using his Geodude, which ends up being not that big of a deal. We actually switch, or we rather lose our Pikachu and switch into Lucario. And with Lucario, we have that close combat as well as a few other moves that we just pretty much destroy him with. The Geodude is taken out quickly. There's even a Blissey in this case, which I goddamn hate. Thing we haven't gotten full details on. And it's a Blissey! Why does Brock have Blissey? Wait, oh yeah, shit, no, he's a goddamn nurse, isn't he? But we end up defeating that one too pretty easily, and most of his team is actually pretty much swept, as you guys can see right here. Hey, we did it though. We got the goddamn Blissey, dude. I didn't even realize. Hey, Crogunto, dude. Oh, that's awesome. Let's go extreme speed. Is what it is, dude. So his final Pokemon ends up being Rocky the Shiny Onix. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course we do the same thing here. We close combat this bad boy, and there it is. We've defeated our first W. There's 29 to go. So instead of going and healing, we actually decide to take on our next battle, and of course it's against none else than Misty herself, ladies and gentlemen. Ran as fast as I could, and here I am. Prepare yourself, Ash. Okay, Misty, show me what you got, girl. Show me what you got. Show me. First up is her Psyduck, which we end up defeating using Sirfetch'd by using Leaf Blade, which goes pretty solid. Next, however, is a Gyarados that is a little bit more complicated. We end up doing a little bit of damage, I think, on it with Sirfetch'd, but then it actually defeats our Sirfetch'd, and we have to switch out into Gengar, which we then actually end up sweeping the rest of her team with. We just use Shadow Ball and get rid of her Gyarados, as well as her Goldeen, which she pops out, including also her Togepi and the Staryu as well. But guess what? The last Pokemon is, for whatever reason, Ludicolo here, and same thing here. We sweep through using just Gengar. And so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Our first 2 battles are done, and now we're going to be going around and just exploring the map a bit. First, we find a house with this Pokeball that we're told not to touch, as well as notes belonging to Dawn. Do you want to read them? Research notes. Dawn's notes. Day 1. More and more people have started talking about some strange statue at the Eterna Forest. So after reading Dawn's notes, we move on and find a different building with this sketchy guy. Says the following: don't make me finish my speech, or you will lose all your wait, should I finish what he's saying? So I start freaking out if I should actually finish the sentence, and then I do it. Guys, do we finish talking to this guy? Progress. No! 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 Oh my god, you dickhead. It was, oh my god, it was just a joke! You asshole! You asshole! So yeah, it just turns out that the developer of the game, my buddy, actually decided to mess with us there. Either way, we then go back and take on more challenges. And our next battle is against none else than Dawn herself. And this is actually Dawn when she's turned into a professor herself. So this is old Dawn, and she's grown up, which is quite weird because Ash is still technically the same age, which is really odd. But nonetheless, we're taking on Dawn, and she kicks off with her Piplup, of course, as you guys may remember. However, we got Pikachu, so we're not really going to be struggling that much. We go for Discharge, which does quite a lot of damage, and then we're doing a little bit of dances because we're all happy and stuff. Then she has an A-bomb that she pops out, and we still have Pikachu in. And at this point, we're not really sure if we should switch or not, or if we should go for it. We decide to go for Thunder, which does not too much damage. However, the static does come in, so hey, my man's got paralyzed on him, so that's great. However, Pikachu does die, so we have to switch over into Dracovish, which we have Crunch on, and we do just decide to spam Crunch a few times here, which is more than enough to get rid of the A-bomb. And also, all these challenges that take us on, they have 2 full restores each, so they can all use 2 full restores, which are actually a bit of annoying a few times here, as you may notice. Nonetheless, next she's going to throw out her Pachirisu. We destroyed Pachirisu using our Lucario, and the next Pokemon she has is a Baneri, which we take on with our Dracovish. And then we also have a Togekiss up against us, and I'm going to be honest, this one was a little bit more frustrating. However, we do have our Gengar, where we decide to go just for Shadow Ball over and over again. We did get confused, however, which was a little bit annoying, and that Life Dew is just a pain in the buttocks. Nonetheless, the Shadow Balls come through and eventually defeat it. And the final Pokemon ends up being a Mamoswine, which we only had to hit like 2 times with Shadow Ball or something, and it was gone right away, meaning we defeated another challenge. And guess what? We get a call from Professor Oak telling us that one of our old teams has shown up at his lab, and we can go there to get it. So we go right away and go check it out. Once we find his temporary lab, we actually learn that the new team is the Johto team. Holy dude, look. What the look. It's Bayleaf, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Noctowl, and Fanfeeded. Oh my god, this is so cool. After picking up the Johto team, we made the horrible mistake of actually thinking that the Johto team was good enough to do anything, and so we have to battle B. Oh, I chose the worst time. But it's only you, Lucario's trainer. I thought the champion would be a much stronger one. Anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is, boys. It is what it is. We're about to get killed by B. And yes, that was true. We were about to get totally destroyed by B, which we did get destroyed by. She starts off with a Lucario, as well as, you know, a bunch of other Pokemon that she has. But let's just say like this, the battle doesn't go our way. We end up actually losing this one. And yeah, that leaves us with our first loss. And we have 9 more chances left, and we can't keep screwing up. So we go back and leave the Johto team and get the Galar team out again. And we also go into this random house where this girl says some creepy stuff. Have you heard about that mansion? We try to be kind with our guests, but he would only want to escape. Luckily for us, we trapped him on an endless time loop. Why is there happy music when this just happened? What? So this is actually a reference to the Ghost Haunted Mansion game we did a video on in the past. Go check it out. We then return and actually take on B's team, and this time around, her Lucario and other Pokemon have no chance against her. Her Lucario, Machamp, Primeape, as well as Surfetch'd all get totally destroyed, and of course she has a Graplocked as well. This one is shiny actually, which we also defeat pretty easily. So that was B, and our next battle is against, well, one of her friends, let's say like that. Yes, I'm over 18. What the f does that even mean? Well, what it means is it's Milo, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're battling Milo, and he, of course, has his little flowers and little grass types and all that. We pretty much sweep his whole team, boy. Seriously, the Eldegoss is like the only mildly difficult thing to deal with in his team, but even that is pretty much defeated by our Gengar. And his final Pokemon, of course, has got to be Virizion here, which is a shiny Torterra that I'm a little bit concerned about, but we do end up actually taking it out and defeating it too, meaning we're one step closer to taking on the Masters 8. Just gotta hit one more in close combat. You've got it, mate. There we go. And so we enter in for our next battle, and this one is against quite the surprising character, ladies and gentlemen. Guess who it is? If not, Alain from Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. And, well, she's about to hit us with her goddamn Eevee, of course. So her team pretty much matches that of, like, Trainer Red or something like that from Pokemon Red and Blue, more or less. Or even Pokemon Yellow, I guess, to some extent, if you take out Pikachu. But yeah, it's basically Trainer Red's team. You've got Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, stuff like that in there. Hey, Lechonk? What? After defeating Alain, we get a call from Professor Oak, once again telling us that he has another one of our teams for us to go and pick up. So we do that. Turns out that it's the Hoenn team this time around, with loads of interesting Pokemon, such as Swellow, which is quite nice, and Sceptile, of course, in there as well, alongside Corphish. And we decide to use this team for our next battle. This ends up being the biggest mistake we ever made, because, ladies and gentlemen, we end up going up against none else than Paul. Yes, the Paul, the one and only Paul. And, well, let's just say that we end up kind of getting destroyed in this battle. Yeah, Paul is quite difficult. He's a very strong trainer, and we can't really do much because using the Hoenn team was the worst choice we ever could have made. He starts off with a Staraptor. We do have Pikachu out. However, the Intimidate does lower our attack, which doesn't matter because for the most part we have Thunder, Thunderbolt, stuff like that. However, the Brave Bird comes in and outspeeds us and destroys us. Like right off the bat, straight up demolishes us, meaning that we're already one Pokemon down and the rest of our team isn't looking too hot. His Staraptor also gets our Sceptile killed, which is just great. Luckily, though, it ends up taking itself out as well at the end. But now, literally, our strongest Pokemon is gone and our Pikachu is gone, meaning we don't really have a lot of good options left at this point. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest, we end up losing. We lost this battle and we decided to go back and get ourselves our Galar team and do a little bit of Amity Square leveling on them and then go take on this man again. So we take on, of course, Paul once again. This time he, of course, starts off with his Staraptor once more, but we go into our Dracovish, and our Dracovish only really has Crunch in this case that we're going to be going for. We try a Dragon Breath to start with, which doesn't do a lot, but then we're hoping that the Crunch will be more useful, which it kind of is because of the defense lowering, which is what is most useful here. However, he does use the full restore, which does put us in a weird position nonetheless. However, after multiple spamming, we do get the Staraptor defeated with very low health left, of course, on our Dracovish, which was not really the best option right here. However, the next Pokemon is going to be a Garchomp, so we have to switch out and make a good choice here. Also, it was so warm when I was filming this that I literally got myself some ice. Yes, straight up ice that I just started putting under my feet and everywhere. It's really weird, but yes, when it's really warm, you just gotta get some ice, boys. Gonna put one next to my feet. Oh my fucking god, they're cold. Shit. After our Lucario pretty much falls to the Garchomp, we decide to switch out into our Dragonite. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we go all in for the sweep with this thing. I mean, Dragonite ends up being just a beautifully strong. So, chef's kiss on this one. So, of course, he has a Gyarados in this case, which we take out by using Outrage, which is great. However, then the Infernape gets us with a Fire Spin, so we switch into a Gengar, and then we just spam Shadow Balls on both the Infernape as well as the Metagross. And you guys already know what the last Pokemon is going to be, the spiciest one of them all. Electivire is next. All right, Electivire, his ace. Hey, it's shiny, dude. Let's go. So this is, of course, my man's ace Pokemon. He's got Discharge on this bad boy. You paralyze me. That's a dick move. Discharge again, Shadow Ball. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Even if you're an idiot, you can still win as long as you're Ash. After healing up, we go to take on our next battle, and guess who it is? If not Serena herself. Of course, for all the fanboys out there. Here you go, we're about to defeat her, so let's do our best. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest, this ends up being an easy battle. Her team isn't really that difficult whatsoever, and she does have a few odd, Pokemon here, nonetheless, but not the hardest battle, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. We sweep through most of it, to be frankly honest with you guys, so here you go, we get the W. The next battle, however, was going to be against someone we haven't seen in a while, and of course, it was going to be May. Yes, we haven't seen May since, well, Generation 3 and whatnot, for the most part. So here we go, we're about to take her on. She kicks off, of course, with her Beautifly, as you guys may remember, which is quite an easy Pokemon to deal with. Of course, we have Dracovish out first, and we just decide to, well, keep spamming the one move which we have, which is what? Crunch? It is what it is. It doesn't matter. We got it. We got it, lads. We got it. We did it. So after defeating the Skitty, he also has a Munchlax, which we destroy using Crunch as well. And then pops in the War Turtle, and same thing here. We just can literally spam Crunch non-stop with Dracovish and take out most of the team. Then he also has a Venusaur. In this case, we had to switch over into our Dragonite, and we just go for Dragon Rush, which is a really powerful move, which just the low accuracy is not really the best thing in the world. And the last Pokemon, of course, is the shiny Blaziken Blast in this case, which we also defeat, meaning we've taken down another one of our challenges. In this case, it was May. So, what does this leave us now? Well, we get a message from Professor Oak telling us, hey Ash, we've got another team for you that you should come and check out over at his lab. So we head over there, and guess what? It's the Sinnoh team, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we've got the Sinnoh team now. That means we got Pokemon such as, guess we've got Torterra, Staraptor, Infernape, Weasel, and even Gibble in there. So we've got the Sinnoh team in our hand now. We also go and talk to this guy who says his younger sister is a bit of a strange little child, I don't know. And here's what happened. It's not usual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. Sing with me. What? So after that awkwardness, we talk to this random guy who asks us to find his contact lenses, which we will do later on. Nonetheless, we also then talk to this lady over here, and she tells us that she likes the Paseo region, which is the one from Pokemon Masters. Either way, we also run into this girl who's actually a reference to one of our previous videos where there was a girl from the Hisui region that had been teleported to our present time. Go check that one out afterwards. Also, this random guy is a fan, so we sign some of his stuff for him. We give him an autograph, and guess what? He gives us 5 nuggets. Yes, that's a lot of cash. Also, hello there. Here's where you had to say General... So, after all that weird stuff and everything, we finally go to take on a person I didn't want to take on. Freaking Tobias. I am about to fucking die. I am about to fucking die. And yes, it was true. We were about to get totally demolished because this man has a Darkrai, which we barely take out by using our own Infernape in this case. A Reshiram. A Reshiram. Why does he have a Reshiram? So yeah, for whatever reason, he ends up having a Reshiram as well, which logically I would say he shouldn't have, but hey, it is what it is. Of course, we take out the Latios without too much hassle, but then he hits us with a Regigigas, which we also defeat, luckily with Inferno. Motherfucker is a shiny Latias. So yeah, the shiny Latias is a bit complicated, but it doesn't compare to the last Pokemon this man actually has. And we end up legit being very close to actually defeating it, but I make one mistake. I forgot that he has extreme speed. I forgot that he has extreme speed. So yes, my first mistake of not even knowing that he had extreme speed was a bit of a, well, bad choice. But nonetheless, we come back and we actually take out quite a lot of his Pokemon one by one. It does require a lot of full restores and whatnot, but we do get the Latios and the Latias both defeated, leaving only the Zoe Arceus, which we do take out using Infernape right at the end, meaning we are done with this battle, ladies and gentlemen. So the next battle and the next series of battles are actually going to be quite detrimental to us. As you guys may have noticed, we have 3 losses at this point, but next we're up against Rebel, who's a character we've run into in the past Pokemon fan games we played on the channel, and Rebel is quite strong. So strong, actually, that we lose our first time against her. She's got Vespiquen and a bunch of other Pokemon that end up totally destroying us with this Gen 14 that she's got from Sinnoh, and we get totally demolished, and we decide, hey, guess what? We're gonna go and do a bunch of grinding over in the Amity Square, just running around and getting our levels and whatnot, and hey, we come back, we think to ourselves, okay, second time's the charm. Guess what? It isn't. We also lose on the second try. Same thing, her Vespiquen's very powerful, her Luxray destroys us. Just in general, her whole team ends up being very, very strong. So we go do a little bit more of extra Amity Square leveling, just thinking to ourselves, maybe this time it'll work, third time's the charm. No. It doesn't work this time either. We are now 3 losses in a row against this same character, this same trainer, and we don't really know what to do. Do we keep trying? Do we give up? No, we try again, and this time around, the battle goes our way. So, of course, the Vespiquen, we get rid of it with Meteor Mash on Lucario, which is perfect. Nonetheless, we also have the Pachirisu, and same thing here. The Meteor Mash non-stop keeps hitting, as well as the Lopunny getting destroyed by the Dark Pulse on Gengar. The next Pokemon is another Gengar, which we Shadow Ball, and we get the one-hit KO, I think, in this case, which is perfect, giving us, of course, only the Luxray and I think Infernape left in their team at this point. She does do the Volt Switch with Infernape coming in instead, and we get the Dragon Rush on it, which is perfect in my opinion, because once we get those hits, it is just enough to get rid of it, and there it is. The shiny Infernape is gone, meaning the only Pokemon left is Luxray, which we also get with the Dragon Rush, meaning, ladies and gentlemen, we finally defeated Rebel, and we can move on to the next battle. Our next challenge is against Claire, and I'm gonna be honest, she's so easy, okay? Now, of course, this may have to do with the fact that we do have a Lucario that's level 100, and yes, we have over-leveled, but honestly, it was because we were so close, and we had only so many, like, you know, so few chances left, because we only had 4 more chances. If we lost more than, you know, 1 more time, like 4 more times, we would have basically been done for. So, we just started spamming things with our Lucario and defeated Claire pretty quickly. We then get a call from Professor Oak once again to go and check out what the latest team is over at the lab, so we head over there really quickly. And it turns out to be the Unova team, which I decide not to use because genuinely it's not that useful and not that strong. So we decided to leave that one behind and just go with our Galar team. Next up is Captain Kiawe. Yes, Kiawe is here and we're taking him on. And he, of course, kicks off with Infernip in this case. But ladies and gentlemen, I've got to be honest, this was an awesome battle. Now, Lucario pretty much swept through the whole team of his, okay? Almost the whole team, except right at the end when the Alolan Marowak comes in. When the Alolan Marowak shows up, we kind of lose our Lucario. We had to switch over into Dracovish, which we finish the battle with. And Kiawe's battle was actually a really fun one. Sure, we did kind of sweep him here, I'm not gonna lie, but it was still a fun battle nonetheless. The next series of events are quite crazy. First of all, we got Lillie from Alola over here challenging us as well. Now, hi Ash, take a look at how strong... She's a researcher, as you guys may notice. She's got quite a few different Pokemon. She's even got Magearna in there and Lunala as well. Of course, Nebby just decided to evolve. Azumarill is also part of her team, but I'm going to be honest, her team was probably the easiest one. Also, we get lucky kind of with the fact that a few of these Pokemon that she does have are sort of like, you know, Pokemon that are weak against either fighting and or steel-type moves. So we're lucky in that regard, being able to more or less sweep through her team. After that, however, we actually receive one of the final teams, which is Kalos. We get the Kalos team, so we now have Greninja and a few other options in our team to use. So we go and do a little bit of Greninja leveling, of course, to get that bad boy up and leveled up and ready to go for a few battles. And the next battle is actually going to be quite an interesting one because it's up against AJ. Yes, you guys may remember AJ from the Pokemon anime, the guy who uses a bunch of like Pokemon that are just being more or less abused in his own gym. It's kind of messed up, but he's training them, for example, like his Sandshrew, to stand up against, you know, even water type moves, which is quite crazy. Nonetheless, though, his whole team of Raticates, Butterfrees, and whatever the heck he's got is just not strong enough to stop us. Even his Sandslash, which is shiny in this case, gets totally demolished by our team. Next up is going to be our boy Blue. Yes, I get very frustrated at this, but yeah, we're up against... of course, Blue or Gary, whatever you want to call him. He's going to be challenging us next. And of course, he's got his casual, usual team. In this case, he is Champion Gary, as you may notice. And he starts off with an Aerodactyl, which we don't have too much trouble with. I'll be honest with you guys. We do take it on pretty solidly here with the Hydro Pump, thanks to our Greninja, which is just beautiful, just such a good Pokemon. But we take out the Aerodactyl, and the rest of the team is more or less following in suit. We take them out pretty easily. Oh, let's go, dude. Holy shit, that was so close. Good. Then one of the most annoying rivals, aka Barry, decides to show up, and he challenges us with this Staraptor right off the bat. Now, I'm gonna be honest, we actually sweep through most of his team as well, and at the end of his team, he actually has a very nice little shiny Empoleon, which looks pretty great, by the way. As you may notice, a lot of the final Pokemon of these trainers end up being shiny, and that's just for fun. They look cooler that way, and just more interesting, and it makes for just a bit of a different experience nonetheless. But yeah, we do kind of sweep through here using the Kalos team, which we have access to, and as you guys may have noticed, we're pretty much now almost unlocked every single team besides the Kanto team. That's the only one that's more or less missing, but guess what, guys? We're sweeping through Barry, we finish him off, and we move on to the next thing. Next up is Ash's partner, of course, Go from the Journeys anime, and we take him on right away with the Kalos team. He starts off with a Flygon, which we just keep spamming Hydro Pumps on. We do end up losing Greninja, however, which was a little bit risky, but luckily Hawlucha is, in my opinion, the better Pokemon. Now, yes, you might judge me for that one. Greninja is great, but I actually like Hawlucha more. Nonetheless, either way, he goes into Suicune, and we switch over to Goodra in this case, which I realize may have not been the best choice, but we do have actually Power Whip on it, which is just enough to get rid of it. Then we have Golurk, which we do same thing, Power Whip it to the end, and then we switch around and go into Hawlucha again against the Regieleki. And for crying out loud, how does this guy have a Regieleki? It seems a little ridiculous. But we go for Hurricane with Noivern, which does do quite a bit, and we get the Confusion here, which does kind of save us for a few seconds, but it's not enough. We go back into Goodra, and we think to ourselves, maybe if we can hit the Power Whip, it could be enough, but it isn't. So we do get the Regieleki eventually, and then he has an Inteleon, and that's also how we end up more or less losing our first try against Go, and we take him on a second time. This time around, though, we do defeat him. Don't you fucking dare! Let's go! Dude, God bless Dragonite! God bless Dragonite, dude! Heh, it was obvious from the beginning. What, that I'm better than you, bitch? Then Professor Oak actually tells us to return because he has got a new team for us, and it's the Alola team, ladies and gentlemen. So we add that to our team, and we go on to take the next challenge, which is literally against Ruffled Rowlet, aka myself, using my original team from a previous video. And I will tell you guys right now, we do defeat myself here. I literally defeat myself, which is super... Oh no! It's against me! Dude, it's against me! Oh my fucking god, I forgot you did this, dude. I literally forgot you did this. By the way, I had a nice funny, but I do defeat myself at the end. The highlight, however, is if you guys want to check out the game right here, this Ash game, if you want to play it with all these varieties and whatnot and try it yourself, you guys got to get this video to 1,000 likes, and then you can join our Discord or go to our website, which are both going to be linked down below, and we'll be having the game available there. But warning, it will not be available until we hit 1,000 likes on this video, so make sure to drop a like if you want the download link to be available. We also find the contact lenses that belong to that weird, like, fisherman dude, whatever, and we talk to him, and he rewards us with some nuggets, I think, that we then sell, and guess what? We get ourselves some extra cash, ladies and gentlemen, which is really useful for some of those revives. So, we're now going up against Raihan, and we're just a few battles shy of finally taking on the Masters 8, or I should call them the Masters 7, technically, because we're not really part of their group, but nonetheless, here is the battle against Raihan. He starts out with a Gigalith, which we just close combat to death, more or less. However, the full restores are quite annoying, as he's got 2 of those, so we go for Dragon, I think Rage or whatever, Dragon Pulse there. So nonetheless, we then switch into Gengar, which doesn't go really too solid for us. Then we go and use Crunch against the Flygon in this case. Garchomp is pretty easy, as we do have to do a bit of a switcheroo between Lucario and Dragonite. But once Dragonite is out, we Dragon Dance, and then we pretty much start sweeping through the rest of the team, just Dragon Rushing our way to the end, leaving Sandaconda, as well as, of course, the Duraludon as his last Pokemon up against us. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, we defeat Raihan, meaning we are now only a few battles shy. I should point out that there are actually little side quests you can go and do and whatnot, and we have done quite a bit of leveling, but we decided to just go and take on all the battles, trying to get through the last 10 of them, and this time it's up against Chloe, as you guys may know, or Koharu, I think, from the Japanese name. Nonetheless, her team kicks off with the Boltund, which is most likely the Yamper evolved now. We get it straight away with the hit, which is great. Then she has a Rapidash, and this Rapidash is actually a Galarian Rapidash, which I did not expect. I was a bit shocked by it. However, a Shadow Ball here, a Shadow Ball there, a few full restores, and we take it out, meaning she has now a Milotic coming up against us. We go Shadow Ball first and foremost, then we go for Dark Pulse, which wasn't really the best choice I could have gone for there, so we switch over into Lucario and go for the Meteor Mash, which is just enough to get rid of the Milotic. Next, she has an Alcremie, and in this case, I don't know what I was going to do here. I was about to make the mistake at first of actually switching over to, I think I was going to switch over to one of our Pokemon, which is a Dragon type, which would have been the most horrible choice, but no, we stay in, and the Alcremie is defeated with the Meteor Mash because of the Steel typing, of course. Then we have a female Unpheasant, which we take on, and in this case, she does full restore it as well. However, 2 Meteor Mashes, and it is gone, leaving, of course, Eevee as the last Pokemon, and we don't even let it Gigantamax in this case, which was almost something I was going to be doing, but yeah, we take it out. Also now, we can go and receive our final Pokemon team. And our final Pokemon team, of course, is going to be the Kanto team. Now, we decide to actually not use it, because we know that already, like, the rest of our team is pretty strong, as you guys may have noticed. I mean, we kind of do already, more or less, have a whole team of other Pokemon. Also, for some reason, the Kanto team actually ended up being a little bit bugged. However, we're now about to take on our next battle, which is us up against Rogue, which is related to Rebel, one of the previous characters, and he kicks off with the Abomasnow, and we go, of course, with Lucario to start things off, and you guys know what we got to do here. We got to go for the, the close combat, ladies and gentlemen. So after taking out the Abomasnow, the rest of his team goes as follows. He goes in with the Lucario as well, which we get with a close combat, which is beautiful. Then he's about to switch into one of its other Pokemon. In this case, it's going to be Pachirisu. We decide to switch Aru because we have lowered our defense because of using close combat. So we go into Gengar instead. We do get paralyzed by the Pachirisu, and our Shadow Balls are doing a little bit of damage, quite a decent amount of damage, but however, we get unlucky there a few times, as you may notice, because of the paralysis, and we lose Gengar, which wasn't the best of situations. So we go back into Lucario. Of course, it is now ready to actually do the defeating, the destroying, the winning that we require from it. So we go for Meteor Mash, which was a mistake. Then we go for Meteor Mash again. We do miss it the first time, I think there. I could be wrong. But nonetheless, we do get the W against the Luxray as well, leaving Torterra against us. And ladies and gentlemen, now the last Pokemon is the shiny Float Seal, which we one-tap as well. And we have taken out Rogue as well now. And the most random battle right at the end, I'll be honest, is super strange, but it's against Aaron. You guys remember Aaron, one of the Elite Four from back in the day? He's the last battle before we take on the Masters 8, right? He's the last one that we have to take on, which is really weird. But yeah, we sweep through his whole team because it's just, I mean, you know, it's just a bunch of bug-type Pokemon. So, you know, the Dustox and the Heracross, none of them really have a lot of chances against us. We just keep spamming with close combat on Lucario. However, we do lose the Lucario against the Heracross, which is not really the best of situations. But nonetheless, we do sweep and win his team eventually. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the first battle of the Masters 8. We start off against Iris in this case. She, of course, is the first one we take on. She kicks off with the Hydreigon. We go, of course, into Lucario from the get-go. We go for the Meteor Mash, which does a little bit of damage. She goes for the... She doesn't go for the Full Restore, which is really annoying because she does it twice. And we miss Meteor Mash twice there as well. We get the Body Slam on us, which really scared me. However, the KO does eventually come in, and then she goes into her Druddigon, which is one of the few Pokemon that I really remember from her team being there. Nonetheless, then we have Archeops, which we also go for the Meteor Mash and Dragon Pulses on, which does take it out pretty quickly. Then we're thinking about actually switching Pokemon in this case, which we don't end up actually doing. And when the Lapras comes out, same thing. We Meteor Mash or Close Combat our way through it, leaving Aggron as one of the last few Pokemon in her team. It does survive because of Sturdy here, as you guys may have noticed, but after one Meteor Mash and one Close Combat, it is gone, leaving only a shiny Haxorus as her last Pokemon. We go for Dragon Pulse to one-hit KO. The first Masters 8 battle is done. Moving on to the next one, which is going to be everybody's favorite, Alain. Of course, Alain with his Charizard and everything, he's here. However, he's not ready for us. I'll be honest with you guys. We actually managed to defeat him pretty easily. So, of course, as you know, he kicks off in this case with a Tyranitar. We are in with our Lucario as per usual. We go for the Meteor Mash, which is a one-hit KO, and we do again have the advantage of being level 100 already, which may be a bit of a cheat code, let's just say it like that. But yeah, we did level quite a lot to get him to level 100, so we were able to sweep through most of these, because I just did not want to lose the challenge, so I did over-level like crazy. Then against the Unpheasant, we keep using Meteor Mash and also our Dragon move there, which does quite a bit of damage and does a good job. Metagross is up next, so we go Close Combat. And of course, recommendation is if you use Close Combat and you can do the switching, you probably should and not do what I do. However, we do outspeed and we do so much damage here that just Close Combating everything, including the Weavile in this case, which is an Ice type, does just work, including same thing with the Bisharp with the Steel typing. Basically, majority of his team, besides I guess the last Pokemon, are pretty much all set up to destroy us. However, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter. We do lose the Lucario, but the Charizard also dies in the process, and he doesn't even have time to Mega Evolve it, which means we've defeated Alain without him even being able to use Mega. So that is that. However, next is another one of the Masters 8, and it is Diantha. Diantha kicks off with a Hawlucha in her team. We, of course, again, spam with Meteor Mash against it using our Lucario. Again, I would recommend if you guys want to do this challenge yourself, and if you do play our game once we hit 1,000 likes, I would recommend to maybe try some of the other teams and see what you can do using the other teams without over-leveling. She goes into Tyrantrum in this case, which does kill us in this case, and Lucario does fall. So we have to do a bit of switcherooing. We go into Gengar, which does have Shadow Ball, which does a little bit of damage, but it's still not enough to get rid of the Tyrantrum, which does scare me at this point because it could end up being the detrimental fall of our team. So we have to go, and we decide to go for the Leaf Blade. He does Giga Impact us, but we do a little bit of damage with Leaf Blade, just enough to get rid of the Tyrantrum, and now we can take out the rest of our team. So our last Pokemon is actually a shiny Gardevoir, but we decide to switch into Lucario after reviving it, and it doesn't really work. I didn't realize the fact that, oh, well, wait a minute, this thing's typing is a bit different than I expected. I just made a lot of mistakes in this case, but nonetheless, we do a bit of switcherooing, we do a little bit of reviving, and we do defeat Diantha at the end. And then we have the next Masters 8 member, which is going to be, in this case, Lance. And Lance kicks off with an Aerodactyl, and we, of course, have our Lucario ready to go. We Meteor Mash it right away off the bat, and then he kicks off, or kicks into his shiny Gyarados, which looks cool, by the way, and I really think it's great that they do include these shiny Pokemon and stuff within the anime episodes. I just think it makes for the whole thing to be a little bit more interesting. So, yeah, I don't know. It's quite cool. Then he has a Kingdra, which we have to use the Dragon Pulse on to finally finish it off. And it did do a lot of damage with the Hydro Pump against us. However, the Dragonite next here, same thing. You know, we just can either go for the Close Combat, which does do a lot of damage. However, it survives on just 1 HP, which is annoying. So we decide to go for the Meteor Mash instead, which does do enough to destroy it and kill it, leaving only 2 Pokemon, which is a Dragonite, as well as another Dragonite, except this one, of course, to be more spicy, is called Miraidon, and is a shiny one. one. So yeah, I love how the trolls are in this game. But nonetheless, Lance is defeated, leaving only a few more challenges left. One of those is, of course, going to be Steven Stone. Steven is part of the Masters 8, and he kicks off with his Scar move, which you guys may remember. So we go, of course, close combat. What else can we do? We do lose a little bit of defense there, which is not the best. And I then go for Meteor Mash as a bit of a mistake, but more or less just a way to avoid lowering too much of our defense. Then we go for Dragon Pulse, which doesn't do enough. He actually almost gets us there with the Brave Bird, I think, and it really wasn't too good for us. We have to do the switching because our defense is too low, so we switch over into Surfetch. So after Surfetch was in there, it did a little bit of damage to Credilli, but it ended up getting killed, so we just give a full restore to Lucario, which was enough to get us back into this battle. Aggron, however, here is being a bit of a pain, but of course, as per usual, the close combat against the Sturdy is a bit annoying. Then he has an Armaldo, which we do the same thing. We Meteor Mash through it, and again, a lot of these Pokemon, we have the beneficial fact that Lucario is just disgustingly broken in this case. It is genuinely just an OP Pokemon. So even Claydol falls to it, leaving only one thing left, which is his shiny Metagross, which we close combat, I think, twice here, and that's more than enough to defeat it. And ladies and gentlemen, Steven Stone is down, means we only have 2 more battles to go. And ladies and gentlemen, you already know who it is. You already know who we're up against. It is Lady Cynthia herself. She kicks off with the Spiritomb, and we, as per usual, have our boy Lucario doing the job right up at the front. And of course, we go for the Meteor Mash, which misses twice here for whatever reason. Then eventually it finally does hit. And I was thinking about, you know, like, we can't really use close combat because we already tried doing that at one point. And we hadn't even healed up before this battle, by the way. That was the mistake we made. We hadn't even healed up, so a lot of our stuff was a little bit broken, to say the least. And yeah, don't go up against Cynthia without healing up and, you know, repairing your team, more or less. So we go over and switch into Surfetch. We use Leaf Blade, get rid of the Garchomp, which is perfect, as it is one of her strongest Pokemon, as well as one of the biggest pains to deal with. Then she goes into her Togekiss, which destroys us fully, and I make the mistake of switching into Dragonite against it, and even here I was like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I trying to do? This is this is a Fairy type, not a Shiny type. It's a Fairy type Pokemon. What's the point? So I decided to use this opportunity to revive our Lucario. And once we've revived Lucario, it's able to take out the Togekiss. It does end up being a little bit close of a battle, I will not lie, but we do take it out. And then she has a Lucario as well, and of course we have a few options, but we go for the close combat, but it's not enough because it hits us with extreme speed, and we will have to do a little bit of reviving here and there, you know, in a few different moments. However, Gengar comes in next, and in this case we're like, okay, well, we have a few options. Shadow Ball, of course, does a little bit of damage, just not a crazy amount, leaving it at a tiny bit of HP left, but that's just enough because for whatever reason either it missed its attack or we outsped, but we do get it at the end. We then Shadow Ball onto the Roserade here, which is almost enough with the Dark Pulse to also kill it. However, Gengar falls, and we have to resort to Dracovish, as well as our few other Pokemon, in this case, to finish off the battle. We go for Crunch, which is enough to get rid of the Roserade, leaving, I think, only one Pokemon. It is the shiny Milotic, ladies and gentlemen. It goes for the Ice Beam on us. We miss our attacks here, which is just fantastic, and I hate it so much. But we then switch into Pikachu because, of course, Electro typing should be useful. As you may notice, we've barely been using Pikachu because it was not strong enough. Pikachu just wasn't good enough to do really anything. So we have to revive Lucario to use that as our saving grace and our only option to win here. So we go into Lucario. We decide to not heal up and just go for close combat right away, which is enough. We take out the Melodic, and that means that Cynthia is gone, ladies and gentlemen. There is one battle left to go, and it's up against the man, the myth, the legend. Well, I don't think he's the legend, but you know who it is. It is up against Leon himself, ladies and gentlemen, and here it is. The battle begins with him using his Aegislash level 70. We instantly decide to just casually miss our first move here. We try to go for close combat, but we just forgot that, oh wait, this thing's probably got a ghost typing, so we probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, after Dragon Pulsing it a few times, it is almost enough and just enough to defeat it. And once we've done that, he switches then over into his Cinderace, which we decide to go for, I think, close combat in this case to defeat, because it is the move that is just the most useful in this case. Of course, the lowering of our defense is the biggest issue. Then he has a Dragon Pulse, so we just Dragon Pulse it, getting the perfect damage to get rid of it. The Seismine Toad he pops up is actually a shiny one, which is quite surprising. It does take out our Lucario at this point, which is a little bit worrisome, I'm not gonna lie. We go for Shadow Ball on our Gengar, which does a bit of damage. He full restores his Seismitoad, and we just don't really know what to do, so we decide to actually also revive our Lucario as a way to get through and defeat him without too much hassle. So we switch back into Lucario, and we decide to go for, of course, Dragon Pulse, or, you know, I guess Dragon Pulse or Close Combat in this case. But Dragon Pulse is better because, again, lack of removing our defense, or lack of lowering our defense. Next up, he has a Haxorus, which we Close Combat as well, leaving only one Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen, and it is his famous Charizard. We Close Combat one time, and he doesn't Gigantamax it. He doesn't have time to Gigantamax it just yet, so we switch over to our Dracovish, and once we've done that, we crunch it, and ladies and gentlemen, we have defeated Leon, and we have also, ladies and gentlemen, finished the game. That is 30 battles. Of course, Somersault walks in, the developer of the game, and tells us, hey, you've done it. Guess what? If you guys actually rebattle all 30 trainers in this game, if you go back and try to rebattle all of them again after doing it one time, you can unlock a secret back in Heart Home City. So do that.